Krishna. So good to have you over here, and it's the completion of a journey we had, and it was a memorable journey for me, and I hope it was pleasant for you as well. So let's start by maybe you can give a short intro to people who may be watching this, something about you, what you do, what you have been doing, and then we'll talk about what is your experience in this mentorship.
Oh, so my name is Krishna. I was working with when I joined this mentorship, I was working with a company called Fabric as a senior software engineer. I have total 18 years of work experience. So I was with Oracle. I was working remotely from last 15 years. In between, I had my own startup. So I'm working with this. This is also a Series C startup. I'm working with this from last 2 years. So what inspired me to join this mentorship is like I can first year it went well with my current company. I'm doing good. I'm working with multiple teams and projects. I'm getting that positive vibes, like hey, I'm doing something impactful enough. So last year, uh, what I started getting is I'm slowly feeling burned out. It's like I'm getting worried, and I'm not seeing the positive vibes. It's like I'm not getting. Suppose if I work on a project and I'm completing it, I don't see a logical next step happening to me. Abruptly, I was like, my feedback was not taken positively, and I'm not getting the proper recognition. Somehow, after that advice, what are the inputs I'm getting, I feel like people are not taking it up seriously. Slowly, I started getting the feel that I'm not uh, taken as that important. Like probably, I'm going into that negative spiral that hey, I'm not taken seriously. So when I saw an ad from you, Shikhar, in Facebook. I stopped logging into Facebook also, but actually I saw your ad in Facebook only. Long time joined, and there was a question addressing saying that, hey, are you feeling not going anywhere in your career, and do you see some other younger guy getting promoted before you? These are the two questions. I ain't worried about promotion, but I feel like I'm not getting. I'm getting a feeling that I'm not taking seriously. Especially, we completed a hackathon, and that hackathon, right? I was for one day. I coded like two projects, and I was trying to pitch it to everyone. I felt like everybody looked at it. Yeah, you did a good job, but it was not taken seriously.
Usual response, no?
Yeah, this is like that actually immediately I got connected to that particular ad and I filled that detail.
Got
And I
it.
got a direct meeting invitation from you. And it's like in that meeting, it's like after that meeting invitation came, then I went ahead and checked all the videos. If you like explain your like 15-minute video is there where you are explaining, there were some videos saying that how to get 1 crore package and all, but mostly I was looking at how how should I taken seriously. Hey, I'm actually putting a lot of effort. I'm
Right.
spending a lot of time. I'm doing it's like I'm genuinely trying to help the other teams or other developers. So when I was coming to you, my only is how I will be taken seriously. Like what exactly I need to change in that. So when then I realized that only after before starting attending that call, I went to it. Then I realized that you're talking about a career change, like
Got it.
change of the job is one way. But there, when we are talking, actually in between, you told like, hey, there is no need to change forcefully. This is to make yourself better, and even that will be helpful for you to in the current company also. There is nothing wrong.
Right.
So first 2 months, frankly, I was not thinking about a job change. I was it's like all the exercises or whatever. Like I immediately took like when I talked to you, I took a call, and if you remember, you asked me like, hey, like, will you if I send you that invitation, will you complete that
Right.
payment now itself? I said like, no, I need to take this call immediately because if I leave this meeting without saying yes and without completing it, I will never be able to take that decision. Somehow I got a feeling that I need to take a call now itself. So I didn't consult anyone. Like I was convinced in that meeting. I came
Right.
prepared with lot of details, and
Yeah.
the way you explained me, I'm convinced that forget about the other job and all, but I can become a better for. So I immediately completed the movement. After completing only, I left that meeting. If you remember,
I remember that. And it is so different, Krishna. Why? Many people feel that they need change. Many people know that, these things are not working. I'll do A, B, C. But when it comes to taking a decision, they don't have the courage to take the next step. I mean, for some people, the amount is also not like, it'll alter their lives. It's not about the amount. It's not about how much you're earning. It's about a mindset. I asked whatever questions I need to ask. I got enough data to take a call, and of course it'll be subjective call. You just taking pros and cons and seeing which way it weighs heavier, and take the step. Because if you don't take the step, if you don't take the action, here though we have been thinking like for ages and years, right? And most people do what? They just keep on doing this mental, stew over here. They just keep on cooking it, which goes nowhere. And that is why I think probably you are different, and you have always been different. Probably the way your startup experience, and when now also, like, you think a lot, but you take actions in an equal amount, and you have the courage to chase that dream, which is, I think, the most beautiful thing about your. I'm sorry, I just spoke in between you, but I
no,
wanted to say that because that really matters. That is what I have seen. Taking action. Otherwise, there's thinking to let me think about that. People can think about that for till the cows come home. So that never is complete. Go ahead, please. Yeah. So you decided and you started that, right?
I
Yeah.
started actually first 2 months. I struggled a lot. Like I thought it like can easily put like every day 1 hour. I even set it up in my calendar also. I can just do all those exercises just like that. I thought like
Again, you were the only guy, because I work so closely with you on that, whom I can say, man, he really doesn't have time. I mean, most people who say that I don't have time, they do have time. They just cannot manage the time. But I don't know how you are managing that schedule, man. It was like, and hats off to you. I mean, like, I,
I didn't even realize that I am in that negative work-life balance also till I talked to you. Frankly, I was so engrossed in that like morning 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. I'm running a lot. I didn't even realize that I'm not spending enough time to focus on my career also. So after talking to you, like first 2 months I was struggling. Then you one day you looked at my calendar and said that no, it won't work. You will burn out and all. Start canceling all the meetings. That is the day I realized that hey, let me cancel all the meeting. Whichever I am not needed, I started saying no. Earlier also, I know somehow I couldn't take. I didn't have courage, or it didn't occur to me that I can say no and make some space, some time
right.
for my career development. So first 2 months, I struggled. Like at one point, I thought like I will ask ChatGPT and just write it. I spent really lot of time. I was not things were not in one couple of weeks. I didn't do anything. I locked myself in the room and I tried to remember all those things. And also one thing is I buried my past saying that hey my startup is a failure, so I shouldn't
Mm,
revisit that. It took me that first 2 months, right? It took me some time to go back and refresh all my memory. And also I was not into that writing mode. I was doing more of so I couldn't write those things coherently in the beginning. I went to one of my relative who is in IT field saying that hey, I need some inspiration. So let please help me. So you sit with me. I will talk and I will write in front of you so that I will have that motivation. That also didn't work. Couple of one weekend, I tried to lock myself in a room and try to. I was able to complete one question answer for that day. After spending, I locked myself literally, saying that I will complete this. Uh, Probably that motivation, like, genuinely that motivation to switch from the company is not. That started only in August when that promotion declaration happened and. When that manager sent my feedback, right, that actually changed my. I don't know, things suddenly started falling in place. Promotion got rejected, and my performance appraisal got like not everything is bad, except one particular feedback was which hurt me a lot. Then suddenly I was hurt with that. Then I was thinking I will focus on it. Immediately I got a call from Amazon. I don't know why Amazon contacted me exactly at the same time. And that I was when Amazon contacted me, I said yes to the recruiter. Then I was worried, what will you say? So I thought like you will
Right.
just kick me out of the mentorship because I joined here to transform myself into
To
manager
manage it.
role.
Right.
Why did SD, frankly I don't even remember when I applied also.
Mhm.
So I got the SD3 over me. I didn't say no. I just said yes. I will get more details. Once I talk to you, you convey. Okay, you said yeah, okay, that is fine. Just give your best effort and all. And I was very happy that even though I joined, like I
Right.
told that as an objective, but you said like, yeah, give it your best shot. You can join as SD3 and can become SDM. That is also one path which you can take. I was very happy when you said that. Instead of you saying that, why did you join? You are wasting. I expected that you will be saying that.
Got it.
So you helped me a lot. Like with Amazon interview thing, I got like once I cleared the screen and I was preparing for the main rounds. That is when I actually went through all these things and you sat with me. You helped me with the mocks. Once you assurance coming from your side, right? Then I started believing. Okay, I'm on par. If not at some level, I am at okay. I can clear it. But unfortunately, whatever might be the reason, I gave my
Right.
best effort to Amazon. Whatever might be, I will. And after Amazon, you were telling that after Amazon, you go to any company, you can, it will be a cakewalk for you. Amazon, that rejection mail came on one day. That night itself, I got a call from ServiceNow. And I was just casually giving that whatever preparation I did for Amazon, that continued for ServiceNow.
Right.
And ServiceNow, slowly, like, interview after interview, that went very smooth. And after ServiceNow, there was suddenly there's multiple calls. Google called, Google Recruiter reached out to me, Mindbody, Salesforce, and I was surprised that people were approaching me on LinkedIn. And frankly, I haven't changed much. Also, I changed only the title and
Mhm.
very basic description
Right.
and I was surprised with that, like why, like all the things coming, and I was able to clear all those screening. So your inputs on how to present myself. So you patiently sat with me for every response. You gave that feedback. I went back and you did it. If I remember, you did 2 rounds, and even this design interview also,
Right.
system design. You gave that feedback that helped me to fine tune my. So I did multiple mocks with others after like during Amazon and all, but they were all up to the point. Like they used to ask the question and sit silently, and at the end they used to give some feedback. Of course, they were not, but your feedback really changed how I present myself, and that I should focus more on my past experience and how should I explain them. That star format actually is new to me. I never explained anything in the start. And when like people in service interview, right, at the end they used to say that, hey, you explained very well. I was like, even though that was like one project, you explained it in very detail, like anybody who don't have context, we were able to understand that. I was very happy. Earlier, probably I used to, even in this conversation, right, I generally go here and there, I
Right.
think a little bit, but that focused star format definitely helped me to present what I was doing or what are the past work I have done. And even as like I'm joining that senior staff engineer role, even though it is different from the managerial push and all, but definitely that leadership, whatever you explained to me, helped a lot to frame my responses there.
So happy to hear that, Krishna. And couple of things, like for example, when you were saying, actually, those are coming to my mind. I remember the startup experience when you first discussed, right? And you were like, "Oh, that's a very bad thing," and I don't want to talk about that. And we walked on the beliefs and fears. Also, if you remember the first time, which had so much to do with startup experience, and
Yes,
eventually it turned out to be your most beautiful experience. I think in most of the interviews, people were really impressed with what you've done, and that was really phenomenal. I mean, I was really impressed when I heard what you were trying to do at that point of time, like what like people did. So you were at a wrong time. That's the only
yes,
thing. But otherwise, it's a fantabulous experience. And I think that is what I mean. Sometimes we have certain experiences, we just perceive them in certain way and we lock them away, whether that's a treasure or that's actually rubbish, we don't even know that. And here what you did, you took it out, you polished that, and you presented the world, and the world accepted that, right? So that is so beautiful about that thing, the
Yeah, I
beliefs.
believe ServiceNow manager, my first round hiring manager, she directly said that I looked at resume. Only your startup is experience is interesting. Rest all we get all these things
Normal,
counted.
yeah, yeah,
And I was surprised. I was really was surprised. Then when I was explained, she's from Hyderabad itself. So when I explained, oh, you did all these things, I never got to see this. I wish I would have seen that when it is
got
happening.
it.
And I was definitely touched that. Oh, is this valuable thing? So I was surprised and happy about that.
Right. There is a truth to life, so many things. When it was happening, probably when it was failing, it must have been a very hard time for you. I mean, it was not easy. I can understand when you did something and it failed. But every failure, they say, no, every failure is a pillar of success. I mean, the quotation didn't become like that. There's a reality behind that, right? And that was your pillar on which you'll be building up your rest of your career. So that is so beautiful. Second thing, this promotion part. I mean, what I'm trying to come at, every painful experience, if you know how to leverage that, can turn into opportunity. Say you didn't have got, and what about you? I'll say for me also, if you remember my story, associate development manager for 5 years, if they would have just simply promoted me to manager, I would have been staying in this company and like maybe doing whatever I was doing, earning say one fourth of what I used to earn, and like all those things would have continued. But because that was so painful for you, the denial of promotion, the feedbacks were so painful that prompted you to take action. And that is what differentiates successful people from not so successful people. Not so successful, they will get the failure, they'll start blaming, crying, all those stuff. They don't take any action. They just keep on bitching about the war, right? What you did was entirely different. You took it up as a challenge, and you actually showed that it is possible. It is possible to literally transform your career. And I know from this point onwards, nobody can stop you. So you're unstoppable so far. And you put in like a lot of work. That was all those calls were coming because you're putting a lot of work. You're not going in out and applying to those companies, but I believe actions are directly proportionate, no results. So if you put in action, results has to come. It may come early, may come a bit late, it will come, and which actually you have shown, right? And it's such a fantabulous opportunity, and like all the work that will be doing, the project that will be working in service now, it sounds so exciting. So I'm really excited about that. And thank you for working so hard, Krishna. Thank you for being an inspiration. I mean, I know people will be watching this, they will be really inspired to change the trajectory of their career, because nothing comes easy. I mean, it didn't come easy to you. It's not like you're sitting and like I gave you some magic and things happen like that. It is not like that, right? You put in your work, but maybe you had a path like this is where I need to put in my effort, and that probably helped you. So great. Really happy to hear that, Krishna. Any feedback for me or any advice for the people who may be listening, like who want to actually who feel kind of stuck in their thing, and what will be your advice? People who want to change their career trajectory, anything, whatever path that may be.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
change, right? What there is, even if I don't know if I try to manage, put some wrong experience, saying that, hey, I worked as a manager in my early company and I try to cook up some stories. I don't think I would have confidently, like in service interviews and all, I was talking very confidently, saying that, hey, I have seen 50 millisecond latency. I have seen these two people opposing that. For every question, I had an answer because I have really seen that experience. I think uh, it's like there are so many interview suggestions or recommendations saying that, hey, you make up some story and write in more details. You can. One thing is never lie. We won't get that command in our voice when we are talking to
Absolutely.
in the interview. And all the like there are some projects which I was thinking there are average. This thing are apart from startup experience, also there are multiple projects. I was thinking they are okay and fine. When presented, people were saying, "Oh, we haven't seen this kind of latencies in. There is lot scope for improvement in our work." It's like there are multiple other companies also. Interviewers gave that response. So in real world, if you have the real experience, instead of cooking up some story saying that, yeah, resolved a fight between these two with some this thing. I don't know if I don't know whether we will be able to confidently give that fake experience. But if we are picking up something really happened somehow, we just need to take some time, think, and put it on paper so that we can practice. You know, we need to give those real experience. That's what they work. That's from
Absolutely.
our real experience.
Absolutely, absolutely. And just summarize what you said so that people don't get it wrong. Initially, I heard something wrong. So what you were trying to say is that be ethical, be honest, but you can still make a difference if you actually experience that. You can present it in the right way, right? Because one thing, I mean, particularly for a younger lot, I mean, because they, when we are young, I mean, when we had like less experience, there are certain people who had supposedly more experience than us, and they used to say, "This is how the world works." Here also, if somebody is listening and he may have some senior who say, this is how the world works. You make up stuff, you lie, you have to do that. No, that is not true. What you achieved was based on honesty. It is based on ethics. These are the stuff that you actually did. But yeah, you put in effort to present them in a right way. You prepared on them. You got the data, and presented the right picture so that whoever is listening, they understand the impact properly. So we of course need to prepare. My our answers. We need to think about that and to get data. But we need to be honest because first, um, dishonesty of course is bad ethically, morally, but practically also it is not good because you cannot bring that conviction to your voice. And based on my experience, Krishna, I've seen like in Amazon and everywhere, like those, like people cannot generally lie because lies are always detected. Because you're going to multiple rounds, five people will be asking you questions. If there is this little discrepancy between you said in one round or the other round, and I think I was emphasizing on that always, there's something called earn trust in Amazon, right? That is one of the leadership principles, and that is a non-negotiable leadership principle. If a candidate has done real well in the interview, but there is questions on his earned trust, that candidate cannot be selected. So practically also it is not advisable, and ethically and morally also it is not advisable. And you have shown that you don't need to resort to lies, you don't need to cheat, you don't need to be unethical to get success, which you have actually shown with your transformations. Right? Thank you so much, Krishna. And it was really a pleasure working with you, man. And I know we'll be working again. You expressed desire to continue working with me, and I'll love to do that definitely. Because sometimes some people you really enjoy doing that. Of course, I try to enjoy it everyone, but some people are always special, and you are one of those. So thank you for the trust, and thank you for the hard work. Thank you for doing what you have done. Because through this, you'll be inspiring others as well. Thank you.